Hi everyone and welcome to the RC Retro channel. In this episode, we're going to do a little unboxing. These two RCs are two that have been on my radar and I've been waiting to purchase them. One is a re-release that's in really good condition from Tamiya. The other one is a little bit more vintage. It was one of the project cars that on my list of cars to get, I wanted to get. Always kept an eye out for it. Couldn't find one at a reasonable price until now. So without more babbling on, let me get these two open. I don't know which one is which. I do know that they're the two cars that I just recently bought. So let's go with the one to the left. How about we start with this one? All right. Okay. So far, no signs of those little styrofoam little thingies in here that go all over the place, right? Oh, here's actually, maybe the person reused this box. And at one time there was little styrofoam things in there, but this is all bubble wrap. We have a Tamiya Top Force, and it's already put together. I know. I'm not really one to get an already built car, but I couldn't resist because it was never ran. The person threw it up on eBay. They said they built it. They tested it in their house on carpet. Basically was thinning their collection, and you know, it was less money than to buy a new one to have it shipped. Apparently, you know, all the hobby stores online by me don't have one in stock, so it's all coming from overseas. So it's like $50 to $100 to ship it across the world. So between the price of this and the shipping, I got this for less, brand new, already built, with electronics and a motor and everything already in it. So, like I said, just couldn't pass it up. And it just makes it a little bit easier for me to get it out onto the ball field or onto a track much quicker than having to build it. And eventually over time I could upgrade it and customize it. But got the manual, and I'm assuming this is the wing. Okay, cool. Let me stick that in there. For right now, probably have to just move the grub screw out just to get it in. But now let's get rid of this. And then I came across this person who was selling a brand new one, and from the looks of it, there's no wear on the tires, no scratching underneath. Oh, it's clear. I didn't even realize that in the pictures online. Clear bottom. But what does it have in it? I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's the greatest setup. Nice and velcroed on. Nice paint job. Good work with the stickers. What do I see in here? There is a Sport Tune motor, which I'm probably going to end up yanking out of here and putting it into my Hornet, my Tamiya Hornet, because I'm looking for a motor for that. And it has, you know, your standard Tamiya TBLE 02S Speedo in there. It has a Carson receiver, but I don't have a transmitter for it. And it has a e-tronic servo, and I actually, you know, I'll get a close-up of this. I actually did a little research on this brand and this particular servo, because obviously I saw it in the pictures when I was buying the car, and it's a very weak servo, so I'm going to be taking that out of there. I don't know, I'll find a use for it somewhere else, but I'm going to put something else in there. probably Savox servo to replace it. I don't really mind the Tamiya TBLE02S speed control. Just depends what motor I'm putting in there, but definitely something just a little bit more powerful than the sport-tuned motor that's in there. Maybe probably like a BZ or an RZ Tamiya motor, but we'll figure that out. But rolls nice and smooth. I don't hear any clicking or grinding in there, and there's no scratches whatsoever on here. So when I get through with it, there'll probably be a couple scratches on it because I'm going to run this, and then eventually, much later down the line, after I run it a few times and you know, move on to another RC, I'll probably end up cleaning it up. And I do have the conversion kit for the Top Force Evolution, the whatever you call that, carbon fiber upper chassis plate and the actual chassis and the turnbuckles and the front and the rear shock tower. I have that. I got it. I also have the high caps, the newer high caps, the re-released ones, and I'm in the process right now of actually just painting up a spare Top Force body and applying MCI decals just to have a Top Force Evolution body. And as far as the wheels and tires for that eventually down the line, I do have the actual orange Star Dish tires, not dyed ones, actual real ones from a parted out kit of a Terra Conqueror. And I actually have the cone shaped front and rear spike tires, not the block pyramid types that are on the re-release for the Top Force. So that'll all go on to this eventually one day far down the line to make this look like a Top Force Evolution. But for right now, I'm just going to have some fun with the Top Force. All right, so we are going to go on to opening the second box. So it's not a Tamiya, it's not a Kyosho. It is an RC that I actually have a couple of in my collection, but not as many from Tamiya. And I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the video. It's one that I wanted for quite some time to add to this brand's collection that I have, and you know, they're very upside down. They're very expensive in the regards to some of the other models, and even this one is kind of expensive. And I had to pass up on a couple of them because it was just too ridiculously priced. And okay, I'm like a big kid. What can I say? Big man child, right? That was probably very loud in the microphone. All right, we have a RC10 team car. This came out right after the championship edition. So you have the original RC10 Gold Pan, then you have the RC10 championship edition, which originally was with the 6-gear transmission, and then eventually they started making it with the stealth transmission, and then they went through a series of different championship editions with white parts, a mixture of white and black parts, and then all black parts. And then they have a team car, which went from the gold pan to a black pan, and then right after the team car came out, you had the world's car, which is right up here. So if you go online and you look, RC10 vintage ones are just ridiculously priced, overpriced. Even the re-release RC10 Classic, I look online, everyone's selling new unbox ones for over $1,000. These are, this re-release right here is anywhere from $500 and up. I paid $200 or $225 for mine, but now, you know, because they're hard to come by, it's ridiculously priced. And even vintage gold pans are going, buy it now, or auctions anywhere from $200 and up. Someone posted this as best offer. I gave them the best offer, and they accepted. So lucky me, because all the other ones were very expensive. And this is one of the, I'm not gonna say rare, but very rarely, well, let me say, because I said I'm not gonna say rare. You don't see these quite often on eBay. You see more of the gold pans. So has an Andes body on it, some colors that I like, so another reason why the car was, you know, kind of appealing. Very scratched up. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's not as scratched up as some of the other ones, but that's okay, because I'm going to scratch it up even more, because I'm going to run this. That was the whole point of me getting this. And it's in rough condition, and that's fine, because, again, I'm going to run it. I'm going to use it, because that's what they're meant for, right? So, okay, it's very bouncy. All right, well, it's very dirty, and I'll throw up in the corner a little aerial shot of it. So I might have to actually just take this apart, just give it a quick clean up, wipe down, because I know it's going to get more dirt in it. But we have a basic Futaba S3003 servo. That's like the basic analog servo by them. It also has a receiver, a Futaba receiver, and we have this is very interesting, I've never seen one of these before, a Taser ESC. It's a little guy, little red guy right here, tiny. It says forward and reverse 12 turns. So I'm assuming you could use any kind of motor, brush mode up to 12 turns on here. If you have a Taser ESC, tell me a little bit about it, comment below. We also have a HPI Stage D drift motor in there. Don't know anything about it. What I do know is that this has all the original parts on it, from the shock towers to the shocks, to the arms. Everything on here is original. There's nothing aftermarket or replaced on here. Even has the original tires on the front, or it has the ribbed associated tires. It has the right wheels on here, although it looks to be like they were at one point painted, so maybe I could just take some Tamiya paint remover and get that off. It has the original spiked Narby tires on the rears. They look like they've never been used. And like I said, I'm going to take it apart, just give it a quick clean up, and probably take the gearbox apart and just re-lube everything, re-oil everything, and get it out on the track, because spring is right around the corner. And I'm looking forward to getting all my runners all fixed up and ready for some nice weather out soon, right? All right, cool. So just like this, I do have future plans for this besides running it. Eventually, I do want to restore it. So first, run it, have fun with it, and then eventually, at some point, I will again take it apart, probably give it one of those hydrogen peroxide baths, where you take all the white pieces and put them into hydrogen peroxide, let it sit in the sun for a day or two. And it's supposedly, well, I can't say supposedly, because I know it works, because I did that on my RC10, my original RC10, and it really does whiten up the parts. So I will be doing that, and probably getting a RC10 team car box art painted up for a shelf for this. All in due time, with all the many other projects that I have to do, right? Thanks for checking out my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are a subscriber, you're awesome. If you're not a subscriber, be awesome like everybody else and subscribe. All right? Please, I can definitely use your support. And I will see you all around in my next video. Thank you.